Peace, light, love, and blessings to you. This is Neat Sankofa. By request, I'm going to give my top 5 tips for establishing a new meditation practice for beginners. So I've been meditating for about 10 years. Those of you that are part of my community know it has been a very helpful practice, both in my personal life, but also for what I'm able to teach my clients. So here are the top 5. If like you want to establish a meditation practice and you have no experience meditating, but in this day and age, most people know pretty much like around what meditation is, but meditation is a experiential practice that you really have to, it's like establishing a relationship. So it's something that you can't just be thinking about from a cerebral place. You have to embody it and really get into your practice. So these are what I learned over the years for me and for others. And I want to share, quick down and dirty, the top 5 tips I have. 1, center on your why instead of so much the what is meditation. So we know meditation is a way to calm and slow down thoughts so you can really get in touch with yourself. Like, this is a practice really to get in touch with who you are, to really be at a place where you can still yourself so that you can feel what is your real body, and you can see what is going on in the activity of your mind, but also really feel into, what do I feel like as a energetic being? What is me? You know what I mean? And your highest self. So instead of centering into so much of that, what is this and what should I be looking out for, and all those things that can really start your mind chattering, just center on your why. So your why may be, it's a lot of energy going on right now. I want a way to just be able to come to a place of some level of peace for myself. A why may be, I have high blood pressure or some other medical condition that I've heard meditation might help. Or, I have, I want to be able to focus more on things that I want to do, and my mind is always racing and it's difficult for me to do that. And meditation, I've heard, is a place where you can begin that. Or, I really want to get in touch with who I am, and what is out here in, in that meditative space that I can have access to, that I've heard other people talking about. So any reason, right? But I think it's very important to center on the reasons why. Hey, I got a friend who I really think is cool who want to meditate. Okay, that's cool, whatever your reason is. But, everybody you might have multiple reasons, but what is your central reason for why you show up? My reason why is because my first sponsor was like, in order for me to be your sponsor, we have to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and meditate. And I was like, now what? And that's exactly how it happened, which brings me to tip number 2. Start small and gradually increase. So we got on the phone every day and we meditated for 5 minutes. Just basically, it wasn't even a true meditation practice. We just sat in silence for 5 minutes. And it's incredible how quickly, just from me closing my eyes, and I was trying to, give you a resonance of that presence energy. It's amazing how many people cannot sit even for a few seconds of time with nothing being said, nothing playing, nothing on, and their minds just clear. It's really a practice that is worth investigating. So I'm glad you're here beginning your journey. So start small. I mean, when my oldest son asked me once to help him with the meditation practice, and I put him on a program that was 1 minute for, 3 or 4 days. Then it went to 2 minutes, and then it went to 5 minutes. And then it increased all the way up to, I think we had like 20 minutes of time over a month, where you could really get a firmly established and rooted meditation program. So I would recommend to begin no more than 5 minutes of the silence time and the meditation time. Once you get comfortable with sitting, and you can get, kind of, you got to know like the ways you like to sit, what's going to help you to not fall asleep in the practice. So it helps to start off small so you don't get discouraged by some of the things you really get to learn about yourself and the things that you need when you start with a smaller chunk of time. Number 3, set an intention for your practice. So you understood your why, but before you begin each time, or you can just set a general intention. What do I hope to get out of this? What is my intention for this practice? It might be slightly different from your overall why, because every day we have a different understanding of what we need for that day. You might get up one day and you're just like, I'm on the wrong side of the bed, So that day your intention can be, today I just want to, come out of this in a brighter and a better mood. Or I'm really nervous about a test or some conversation I have to have. Today my intention for my practice is just to see if there's any wisdom surrounding that I might gain through this practice. I found that very important for myself. Like I set intentions for everything. I really try to practice to set intentions for everything, every conversation, every interaction, and there's so many tiny things happening throughout the day. Of course, I don't set an intention for everything, but sometimes I'm just doing it, or I'm in conversation and I can tell when I haven't set an intention. And sometimes the intention might be, I just want to have a joyous conversation with someone I love. That's a simple intention. So that was number 3. Number 4, start with gratitude before you begin. So this is just an overall practice for me. Anybody who's worked with me knows I always start everything with gratitude and intentions. So one thing that you're grateful for and one intention. And the reason why I do that is because it puts you, so even if I got up on the wrong side of the bed, right? So my intention is to get in a more positive state. And then I go into meditation. Well, I'm starting my meditation practice on that vibe. You know what I mean? So it's just going to be like rattling around. If I go and I say, okay, what's one thing I'm grateful for? Oh, I'm grateful that I had like the best night's sleep, like when I went to sleep. That's probably not your intention if you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe these paradoxes exist in your universe. So, maybe you found out yesterday that something that you had been wanting that was on back order came in, you know what I'm saying? Or you found some toilet paper at the store and you like, yeah, I found that toilet paper. I ain't got to make my own toilet paper no more. So that's the point of, this is somebody's real life story right now, right? But just find something that you're truly and authentically grateful for, and then go into that space. It's a much different energy space than thinking about anything else that might be the intention that you want to get out of the practice may not be as positive, and you want to make sure you always having the habit of starting your practice on as good a vibration as you can. Number 5, that's just the lead out of that is, though you have an intention and though you have started on gratitude, release any judgment or any expectations about what you receive during your practice. there's no such thing as a bad meditation session. There's no such thing as a bad meditation session. What's to remember is the practice is what is important. The fact that you consistently sit down and be with yourself in a practice. Every day might not give you these huge insights, but the days that you do receive that will be so worth your practice. And although the tiny bits of time in the days where it's like, oh, my meditation was so, my mind was going back and forth, and my body felt unsettled or whatever it is, you may not consciously understand the benefits of that. But for someone who has been consistent in the practice, not been consistent during sometimes in the practice, there is results happening for you every single day that you're meditating. It has physiological benefits. I mean, even 5 minutes of time, your physiology changes, your mental state changes. And, this is something that is worth trying to establish a practice. But just release all expectations that you did it right or did it wrong. There is no right or wrong. Just sit with yourself. It's as much a personal journey as anything else. It's a self-awareness practice largely. So 2 bonus things that came up for me to share outside of those 5 things are: find a guided meditation if you have trouble focusing. This might be even more important as you try to go into like the 10-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute time frames for your meditation. It might be easier and more beneficial to have, someone to do a guided meditation and you kind of take the journey. I recommend 100% all the time, every time, Deepak Chopra. I love the work that this being does on the planet. And I think it's very beneficial, the ways in which a lot of his meditations are structured. Number 2 bonus is journaling afterwards for any insights can be really, really helpful for you to not only have insights, but be able to retain those and use them in your daily life. I mean, as big as the insight is that you have, it can very quickly be something that you're not able to integrate. Being able to write it down, even if you don't look back at that ever again, the fact that you wrote it down is another way to put it back in your mind and your body, and your body will remember. Your mind and your body will help you remember whatever beautiful insights that you had. And if you do go back to it, I recommend using the same journal. But sometimes you can, as you're writing something down, you might be like, I just didn't realize it to this point, but this is a pattern for me. Where is it that I might want to investigate this further? So that's why I always recommend, a journaling, and it might help you just to be able to not be thinking about that so much, whatever came up for you, especially if it's something that may be like a little disturbing or something. Not saying that something will disturb you, but it's in the realm of possibility that you might have thoughts that come up that are like, why does this thought keep coming up? I'm supposed to be in a peaceful place. Why does this thought keep coming up? Well, you might just want to have an opportunity to just write that down for yourself, like without that judgment, right? Just like, interesting today that in my meditation practice, these feelings came up for me. And you'll be able to, just have a place a container for that, so you can go on with your daily activities after that meditation time. I sincerely hope this has been helpful to you. Thank you for watching it. I think these are really very good pointers to start off with. They tried and true. I've tried them. My other clients have tried them, and I've been blessed enough to be asked to help people start their meditation journeys. So there you go. Happy meditating. Peace, light, love, blessings, and blessings. And I hope this is the start of just a beautiful inner journey. And a catalyst to you becoming your greatest and highest self. Ashe, I say it is so. Peace.